Alright, hello all. Welcome to the stream. So today we're going to be going over a full tutorial and review of Shooting the Rapids Deluxe. This is a brand new title from Magic Pixels / Zachariah Pinball. And it came out for the Atgames Pinball today, here at noon. So this is available on the 4K and the HD. And we're going to kind of go through, play the game a little bit. I'm not going to worry about scores necessarily. I'm really going to want to show the title. We're definitely going to go into every bit of detail we can about how to play the game, and then we're going to cover my review and my impressions of it. It's really not important that I have a good score necessarily. I am in the back glass currently, but that it will not last. I'm already dropped to 7th as of about a half hour ago. So everybody bought the game now, and they're actually playing it. So first of all, this is a beautiful title. This originally came out March 20th on Steam. And so it has, I've been able to play this game for a little bit. It's not like I got a code or anything. I bought this at noon just like everybody else. So first of all, let's just look at the table, around the table a little bit. We all have the typical features of the day-night cycle that you have on basically all of the Magic Pixel tables. We're going to play in the morning because that's the brightest of the three. This table includes 5 flippers. So you've got the 2 down here, a third over here, and 2 for the upper playfield. The upper playfield consists of a series of 3 different mini-games, Sun, Wind, and Moon. There's also the way to lock balls for multi-ball up here under the bear. So you have lock 1, lock 2. And you have a couple different things you can do up here as well, which are capsize and or get a water combo. So there's a little bit of a dichotomy there that takes place as well. But we'll cover all of that. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about the modes. You have Arrow, Axe, Bear, Hawk, and Wolf. All of those are accessible through these 5 river targets. So these 5 river targets need to be attacked during gameplay. They're kind of underneath the original the upper playfield here, and can be accessed by hitting the right flipper directly into them this way. During gameplay, you can whatever ones that you hit, you can actually move the position of these with your flippers as you do them. So you can actually, if you take the shot and you realize you're going to miss wide or long, you can actually flip the flipper a little bit to get it to lock in one way or the other. Okay, so first off, we're going to cover ball saves. As with any Magic Pixel table, ball saves are very, very important. You have a center post, which people are kind of here nor there on sometimes. Some people really hate it, other people don't mind it. I don't think it's too much of a factor in this particular game. The outlanes are pretty reasonable, and so a ball save, though, is always important. So the ball save in this game is pretty typical. It's the RETURN rollovers. So you got 3 and 3 on either side. These are going to allow you to do your ball saves. Super easy to get. When you start a ball, you're going to have a ball save for roughly 30 seconds or so. Once that fades, you're going to have an opportunity to get those back. The easiest way to do this is to hit the L and O ramps. So the L and O ramps are the safe ramps. So you're going to hit a shot through here. It's going to come back down and go right through that T. On this side, if you hit the shot through the O, it comes around, loops down, and goes right through the R. That is going to be a very, very easy shot to get your ball save again and again and again. All you have to do is throw it up there, toggle the flippers to make sure that it aligns with one of the non-lit targets, and you just collect those 6 to collect your ball save. Super simple. Next up, kickbacks. Now, kickbacks are pretty difficult to get just because of the placement of where they are. Obviously, the kickback is here. It's sail again. And as far as I can tell, there's not a kickback on this side at all. You just don't get one. Luckily, I don't get a ton of things going out that side. Just kind of a strange thing. But for the kickback for this one, you have to hit the canoe targets. So there's a CANOE right here, and there's actually kind of a mini orbit that kind of goes right through here. And to be able to take that shot, you have to take it from this left flipper, either on an orbit shot or when you come off the bumpers. So you're going to come off the bumpers and you're going to get an opportunity to hit it from here. I find it to be a lot easier on the 4KP than it was on Steam. So you take that shot, you do it 5 times, you collect all 5 of those letters, you'll get the sail again kickback, and it's locked in. That simple. Multipliers. So the multipliers on this, They have nothing to do with the rollovers up by the bumpers, where they typically would be. They don't have any set of targets or anything up here. It's literally these three little targets over here on the right. They're bow, as in bow and arrow. So you have B-O-W. You hit these through one whole time, you're going to get 2x. Do it a second time, 4x, 6x, 8x, 10x. If you get the bow again after 10x, you can actually get an extra ball. So, all right, next up, rapid combo. Rapid combo is pretty straightforward. It goes kind of hand in hand with a couple of different things. You've got 4 ramps. Well, actually 2 orbits and 2 ramps that have rapid combos. Actually, there's a 5th one, if you don't notice. There's one up here with the little mini orbit. So with the rock targets, there's R-O-C-K. We'll get into that in a second. So there's a mini orbit rapid combo there, here, 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 and here. Now when you hit these targets, they'll start with after you hit 1, you'll get an option for hit a second. It's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and 5 million. And those stay consistent, and they keep going until you break the combo. Pretty straightforward. Spirit Rapids. So this is the pop bumpers. So this one's kind of vague in that so this is the pop bumpers. When you're hitting the pop bumpers, you're going to get an option. When they start out at 20,000 points per bump. But what you can do is you can actually hit this mini orbit that we just talked about, where the raid combo is. It just kind of circles around this tree. And the R-O-C-K letters. Once you get all of those, you can get these bumper values up to 200,000 points per bump. So it's not a terrible thing, and it's only for 60 seconds. So unless you plan on doing that, I don't think there's a lot of points there. Certainly, the rapid combos are going to be the claim to fame on this table, of course, all along the way. There's all kinds of opportunities there. 1, 2, 3, 5 millions, you can't beat that. So you're going to be shooting those ramps all the time, ramps and orbits. Echo of the Totem. This one's pretty cool. So this one here, you're going to look at these same orbits and ramps that we've been looking at. Orbit ramps, you got the 2 orbits and the 2 ramps. They have these letters called flow, F-L-O-W. You have to hit each one of these ramps or orbits twice. And what you're going to do is it'll be F-L-O-W. First of all, you'll light the targets and they'll blink, and then you hit them again and they'll stay solid. And that means that you've collected them, and all these totems, there's 4 of them. Actually, I'm sorry, is there 5? I think there was 5 of them. No, there's 4. So there's a totem here, totem here, totem here, and a totem here. They pop up out of the playfield, and you'll hit each one of these. Each one of these is worth 1 million points, and when you get all 5 of them, you get 5 million points. Tomahawk spins. So if you look in the rule set, it talks about tomahawk spins. What they're referring to is the actual spinner on the orbits. So you'll notice the orbit actually has a tomahawk, like an Indian headdress and stuff like that on it. So what these refer to is, when you're playing the game, it doesn't call them tomahawk spins. It calls them the Wise Men Award on this side and the Archer Woman on this side. So when you get, I think it's 30 spins. Yeah, 30 times you're going to spin either one of these. It'll say you get a Wiseman bonus award, and you'll have the option to hit one of the slingshots. So if you're on the left side, it's the Wiseman award. This left slingshot will be active, and you'll be able to hit that. So it's 100,000 points, and it's within 40 seconds. So again, not terribly profitable, but it is there. It isn't an option. Same thing happens on the other side. You got Archer Woman, 30 times up this for the spinner. This slingshot becomes active. And it's, 200,000 points. Or 100,000 points. Sorry about that. All right, next up, entering the second playfield. Second playfield's pretty straightforward. There's a thunder capture hole right here. You hit that target, you're on the second playfield. You'll kick up out of this tree stump here, what appears to be a tree stump. There's no branches on it, but they did that for clarity, obviously. We would have complained if they hadn't, because it would have been a Zancore situation going on. It does have a center post. So, sorry, Nix, it just does. Welcome, everybody, by the way. Love to see you guys here. So this ball is going to pop up, and it's going to put you on the upper playfield, and you have these 2 flippers to deal with. We're going to show all these gameplay techniques in a minute. But what happens when you're up here, you're going to want to hit either one of these net targets. So these net targets, and then once you get 2 of those twice, you get an option for a capsize award. So there's that. So that is the net bonus. You hit both the net targets twice to light a capsize award lamp. And again, it's only 1 million points. So again, not very profitable for what it is. On the 3rd time that you do this twice, you're going to get an option to get the water combo light will come on, and that's a 3 million shot. And again, why would you do that when these ramps and orbits are so much more profitable? I don't know, but they are a thing. Next up, minigames. So minigames are all on the upper playfield. They are sun, wind, and moon. We talked about them. When you look at these, the sun has 3 spot targets. They're right here. If you were to look at this on Steam, you could look at it pretty close. Look at the upper playfield like this, you'll see them pretty clearly. Wind is 5 times, and that is this is the orbit, this mini loop here, mini ramp. You hit that, you do that 5 times, you'll get some points for that. And if you do moon, there's moon ramp here, there's a spinner up here, you spin that 20 times and you get the bonus for that one. None of these mini games are terribly profitable. They're only 5 million points each, but if you complete all 3 of them, you get 10 million points. So it is a cool table. I will say that. Indian multi-ball. So Indian multi-ball is going to happen kind of inherently as you play the game. It's not something you're going to actively go for, at least not to start with. To start multi-ball, there's actually a multi-ball capture hole right here. And you're going to get the option to hit this once you lock a ball or 2. So you can have a 2-ball multi-ball or a 3-ball multi-ball depending on what you have locked. The trick here is that when you start this, and we'll go through this in here in a second. We'll start to talk through it. You're not going to get the option for multi-ball to start locking balls until you've hit these slingshots 10 times between the 2 of them. Once you do that, you'll hear it say ball 1 or lock 1 is available. That means it's on the upper playfield. So then you take that thunder shot. It's going to kick out this tree. You're going to put it to the left flipper, and you're going to shoot for the bear. That'll lock 1 ball. It'll do a full plunge, and you'll start the second ball so you can do the same thing. In the event that you do get to multi-ball, the shot is really tough to take. It's from the left flipper, and it's an early shot on this flipper to get into this capture hole. It's a really tough shot. If you miss it, you're going to get a canoe orbit ramp, or you might just kick it into the bow letters for the multiplier. It's one of the other things, but depending on the speed, if you get it too soon, it might kick the post and just kick it back up, and then you might have a better shot for it. A lot of times, I'll shoot it through the rock. It'll hit the river ramp and actually kick back into it. That's one option for it. Now, with multi-ball, the benefits really aren't as great as you would think. They're basically the same as they are for the ramps and orbits. So it's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and 5 million. Same old jackpots, only this time you have 2 or 3 balls. So yes, it's duplicated, but it really isn't different than what you were doing just with the single ball. Alright, so game modes are pretty straightforward as well. We talked about these river targets. Once you do these river targets, and we're going to start to kick this up a little bit.
No fear,
once you start the river targets, you have options to start those. You have to hit two, count them, start mode buttons. There's a start mode spot target here and a spot mode target here that's pretty hidden. If you don't really see it, it's really tough to see on the 4KP, but it's there. You have to hit both of those to start the modes. And the modes are arrow, axe, bear, hawk, and wolf. And the trick is for these, you have 120 seconds for all of the modes. If you complete it, it's 10 million points. And if you complete all of them, you get an additional 20 million points. That's pretty much it. Arrow has you go through the bottom rollover 6 times. So again, you can shoot those rapid combos through the ramps again and again and again. You're going to do that a lot. Axe becomes pretty difficult because you're talking about these spinners, which is a pretty difficult shot. They're pretty wide. This left side is way easier to hit than this right. The ball has to be coming down this in lane pretty quickly to be able to take that shot. Bear is the pop bumpers. You just have to hit it 10 times. Super simple. Hawk is right and left ramps 5 times. We've been doing that throughout the entire game. We're going to have no problem with that 5 times. Now, Wolf Wolf is an absolute bear, which is, I know that's a terrible pun because we just talked about bear, but wolf is the actual bear because you have to hit that multi-ball capture target 4 times, and it's a really tough shot. So those are the rules, and as we go through this, we'll talk about it as we play. But here we go. So it's going to kick out right there. That shot through the canoe is going to be for a kickback.
Good shot, brave one.
And my ball saver is still on. Now that I've lost the ball, I've lost that. So we're going to want to get that back.
Nice aim, sharpshooter.
I've hit the... we're going to want to take a shot through the O or the L. So O, L, and O. To try to get our ball save back. And we'll also be gaining the options for rapid combos. So it all kind of builds together. Let this drop. And obviously we got 4 more hits until our multi-ball lock becomes available. We started our L, so that's our flow. We would have to hit that target twice, which we've already done, which is why it's solid. Now we've hit the slingshots enough. So now you hear lock is lit. So that's on the upper playfield. You'll see it's blinking up here. And I'm going to lose the ball. Look at that. So because I didn't get my ball save, I actually lost the ball. Everything when you lose a ball resets, except for your canoe letters and your multi-ball options. So if you had already locked a ball, you're not going to lose that. But if you did lose it before you got it, it's not going to be available. So you'll notice it's not available now because I never acquired the lock.
Nice aim.
So we're going to take this shot to the O.
Solid hit, fearless spirit.
That is the mini orbit for rock. Now, if I did all 4 of those, I would get the option for those bumpers to be more profitable. I did not have my kickback, and I've also lost my ball save.
Good shot, brave one.
Now I have my kickback because I got all 5 of the canoe letters, which is fine and well, but we're seeing that it's a lot harder or a lot more common to lose the ball through the middle than it is through the sides. And as you shoot this around, make sure that you're adjusting your letters so that you hit a non-lit target. I already have my kickback, so the canoe shot doesn't make any sense there, but it's just a common thing to get used to hitting that. Have to get used to that center post, as many of us do not like. L target.
Nice aim, sharpshooter.
Gotta get used to that again. We're gonna go through the O again.
Lock 1 is lit.
So now we've hit our slingshots enough times. Lock 1 is lit again. I'm still 1 away from my ball save, so that's what I want to do next. Still missed it.
Combo. Double combo.
There we go. Now I have my ball save. Now I can go to work. I can work on these river targets. Or lose the ball. I lost my kickback, but not my ball save. I can go back and work on my kickback again because the canoe letters are now active again. You can see these shots to the wide side. The W is a really hard shot to do unless that ball is coming down pretty quickly, and I'm gonna lose my ball save again. So you're gonna spend lots of time getting ball saves. It's just the nature of the beast. So I want to hit this shot twice to get totems.
Good shot.
I'm gonna let this dead flip, and I could have been ambitious on that and tried to go for the W, but lost the ball on that one. Ball 3, really haven't done much, but that's just kind of how it goes. You're going to have to acquire your ball saves. And here we're going to go up to the upper play field. We're going to let this ball get to the upper left flipper with any luck. Nope. If you miss and you hit one of the capsize awards, you're going to get kicked out immediately. Now I have a ball save, so I have a little bit of safety. I can actually go for some targets. Now I don't have a ball save.
Double combo.
So you're go back to hitting ball saves.
Triple combo.
And again, lots of points there. So as you hit these, I'm getting 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. Pretty profitable. And anything you do without your ball save is going to be risky, as you've seen there. That's first game. So now I'll concentrate a little more on the upper playfield and see what we can do there. And we want to try to get into some modes
will
too.
Carry you through the rapids ahead.
So we can do that rock orbit. Like I said, to hit river letters, it's pretty easy. And we can actually, you'll notice when I hit my right flipper, I can actually change those river letters to make sure that I hit something every time.
Solid hit, fearless spirit.
And we can use that rock orbit to our advantage. You can see I did there to be able to hit a letter.
Combo. Solid hit, fearless spirit.
And again, this is not really an area where we lose the ball a lot, so I'm not terribly worried about that generally. But there is an instance here where we just shown it. And you cannot acquire a kickback on that side. So, kind of strange. Generally, you have an option for a kickback on both sides. You just have to do the same thing twice. But that does not happen here. That's the rock level again. Shoot back up.
Good shot, brave one.
We should be getting close. We have 6 more hits to hit multi-ball option to lock a ball.
Combo. Double combo. Triple combo.
Combos. Skull Jill, you'll appreciate that. Lots of combos. And it's a good table for that. Sadly, I already lost the ball. If this ball kicks out on the left-hand side after the bumpers, take the shot to the canoe. You want to try to get that kick back any chance you get. Come on.
Ball save.
Lost the ball save. Capture this ball. And I'll shoot for the thunder shot this time. That's the multi-ball hole. That's actually a lot easier to be accessed from this upper flipper. You can either shoot it up here and kind of feed the upper flipper to shoot for the multi-ball target, or you can go all the way around and come through it that way. It's more difficult going around the orbit just because of the speed you have to deal with. We'll go back up to the upper playfield and see if we can get a mini orbit mode going. So that actually kicked into the bear, and so that's why it kicked back out, but you didn't see anything change. And I hit the capsize award that time, so it kicked it back out.
Combo.
Should be getting close to a ball lock. Yep, we get 4 more hits. That'll help our multiplier.
Combo.
One more time.
Solid hit.
Do not lose the ball. Alright. Just missed it.
Combo.
That'll be our ball save, and we can go back to work. Hitting our river targets. We're losing the ball and having to start over. Jeez. Back up to the upper playfield. It's going to kick out. You want to hold the right flipper just for a second, generally, just to make sure it does this. And if you shoot shallow, you can hit this loop target. But if you miss, it's down, just like that.
Lock one is lit.
So lock one is lit. We've hit our slingshots 10 times now. So now we want to go back up to our upper playfield. Come on. That was ball 3 on that.
Yourself, brave one. The The rapids await your skill. Good shot, brave one. Double combo. Triple combo. Super combo.
We're gonna try to get our flow letters here if we can. We've already got our O. Come on.
Ball save. Your spirit remains unbroken.
As long as you have a ball save, you don't lose your progress. But if you did lose a ball, you actually do lose your progress there.
Solid.
So that's the first time I hit the W. That's why it's blinking. And that shot is really difficult when it's at a dead stop. As you can see there, even with a little bit of speed, it's not enough.
Good shot, brave one.
Jeez, Pete. We'll just start over.
Guide your canoe wisely, for the rapids will test your spirit.
The ball generally kicks out on that first shot after the bumpers. Come on, ball. You're killing me, man.
Ball saved. Your spirit remains unbroken. Nice aim, sharpshooter.
Jeez.
Prepare
Awesome.
yourself, brave one.
So I'm saying, if you're not going for ball save, which I'm not really worried about in this instance, if I was just playing for score, I would definitely push my ball save every chance I got, because it's going to absolutely kill you if you don't, which is what it's doing here. Here's the upper playfield again, and if I quit hitting that stupid capsizer reward, I'm not having this issue.
Triple combo. Block one is lit. Nice aim, sharpshooter.
Boink. Center post can be a good thing.
Combo.
It is a little counterintuitive. You have to kind of get used to that. Here's our Wise Man bonus. You'll notice that it said 7 more spins. That just means that I've hit the tomahawk spin on the left side 23 times. It needs to be 30 for that tomahawk. Back up to the upper playfield. So this time we want to lock a ball. So we're going to kind of hold this ball and beware of this post here, because this post is actually spins around. So if I try to take this shot from the right flipper, it's probably going to hit that post and go flying all over the place. I really want to take that shot directly under the bear, but you see it hit that post immediately. You have to be aware of that sucker. It can be a problem. So I like this table too, man.
Good shot, brave one.
And that gets into a little bit of the review portion of it for that Pinball Wizard. I gotta tell you, do I like this game? I do. I think it's a really good game. I would give this, I think I would give this a 9. It's very much as its predecessors. It does a really good job of representing the shooting the Rapid series in a lot of ways. It has a lot of the same theming, has some of the same elements. It even tried to keep that element of the dream catcher, which they tried to do a little bit on the remake, which I thought was a really cool feature that they did. If I hold this ball here, you can either take a shot at these net targets here to go for the water combo, which is pretty difficult. You have to hit these 3 times each, and then hit the capsize awards or the water combo. Or you have to hit this loop twice, which is what I want to do so that I can start the minigame modes. But I gotta do it without hitting the capsize awards. So it's pretty difficult to do. And again, there's not a lot of points up there. Even if you were to go through all of them, you're not gonna get a ton of points doing it. So that's been the biggest downfall for me, is that the upper playfield is really all about getting your multi-ball set up. It's not really about doing the minigames and such. So, but I would definitely rate this a 9. I think there's not a ton of flippers. There's not an addition. They could have went crazy and put an additional playfield underneath the playfield or something like they did with Moonflight. I think they kept this one pretty simple. I do like that it has kind of a dream catcher kind of in the trees, if you will.
Ball saved. Your spirit remains.
They did a good job to try to add tree elements around the upper playfield to try to give it some depth. without taking away from the visual aspect of it, so you can see everything through it. You can see all these trees here and the trees on these different pieces above and below. And it even has a kind of a pine tree motif underneath completely, under both playfields. And as well as the background. You got the mountains, you got a teepee over the corner here, you got totems, canoes, they got really good art elements across the board. It does a fantastic job. What you think of the AI graphics could be one thing or another. I really like the back glass. I think this is a really good back glass. I think they did a nice job. It's super simple. There's no scoring up here, but the scoring is obviously on the DMD, and it does a really nice job. The DMD has been updated, and since the newer titles have that, people are going to generally appreciate those, I think. I think the text is a little tough to read. Like, it says 16,000 or 16 million right now. With a little bit of overlapping letters, can be a little tricky to read, but overall I think it's a pretty good thing to have. It certainly makes it a little more individualized versus some of the older tables that had the more simplistic arts with the triangles and swirls and things like that. I would be very interested to see how it translates to the HD, as some of the text on this DMD would be quite small on the HD display. So that would be a concern for me on the HD side. But here on the 4K, works really, really well. Also with the 4K, you're still getting your sound effects kit integration across the board. All sounds really, really good. It's nothing fantastic. There's no individualized sounds that really stick out to me, like you have on some of the Zen titles, or even some of the Zechariah tables have some more individualized sound. You will definitely hear the bumpers more in the upper left corner, which you would expect and things like that. But it's not groundbreaking out here in any stretch. I do love the dynamic lighting. You can see things flashing and blinking and lighting all around. It does a really nice job of that. I definitely think this table is worth a 9. It's well worth its price, I think. You could just go for combos if you want to keep it simple, or if you want to get into the nuance and go through all the modes, work with the mini games up top. You could really have a lot of fun with this table. So that's my review of this table. If you guys have any questions, I'm certainly willing to answer them. Especially on the micro. Yeah, it can be really tough on the micro. I agree with that. I do think it would be a great title for the micro, especially for $6. I'd be a really good choice for that. I do like the looks of the table. I did have the same experience this morning as well, Pinball Wizard. I purchased the game without paying for it, and then later was told that I didn't have the license for it, and I purchased it then. So if you had that experience when you bought it, no worries, they will catch up to you. You will have to pay for it, so no worries there. So we'll play one more game. I'll be quiet through it and just see what you guys think.
Your canoe wisely, for the rapids will test your spirit. Solid hit, fearless spirit.
Ridiculous.
Nice aim, sharpshooter.
If you did see my preview, you'll notice that I did not like the word sharpshooter for this, because this game would have predated rifles, so you would not have had the term sharpshooter generally. So, at any rate. Jeez, I played terrible.
The river knows no fear, only the brave.
Alright, so with that, I will say this. At the very least, I think this table is a really good table. Certainly not the best. I think Moonflight had its perks. This one is pretty simplistic in its gameplay. You're really only going to use 3 flippers for the most part. The mini playfield really just does the multi-ball lock for the most part. But there's a lot of nuance there. So with that, I guess we'll stop here. All I can say is you only need one ball for greatness. So keep plunging, folks. Keep plunging. It's a great title. It's going to be a Flipper Friends table this week. Hopefully this tutorial helped. I'm sorry I didn't get to show you everything that I wanted to, but at least you know what you're doing and where you're going to collect them and kind of go from there. We'll see you next time, guys.